2026, Ides of March, certainly feeling that way considering. It's been a very interesting morning. And as I'm looking over to see what my dog's going to do next, it's been a wild morning for yours truly. Not that you want to hear that right about now, but Lord knows. I need to shave. I need to even shave my head for that matter. Yeah, I don't want to make this into a venting session. And I know nobody's hopped on board just yet, but I know people will start to flood in the seconds and minutes to come. But listen, it's another day. Grateful, thankful, blessed, the whole nine. Podcast pregame, podcast coming at you at 11 a.m. And we have finally, maybe not even finally, it's a strong word, because think about it. 5 weeks ago, yesterday was Super Bowl 60. And during the last 5 weeks, it had been a rather intriguing stretch to where we had a lot of different storylines, and this throughout sports, a lot of different storylines, a lot of different news items that we're able to sink our teeth into for us to at least get through this period. Now, obviously, there's going to be down moments. The NFL, as we all know, reigns supreme, and it doesn't matter. They could talk about these international games. They could talk about schedules, or whatever it may be, and it is going to be a hot button topic to unpack. But when it comes to getting to this point of the calendar, knowing that the selections have been put in, we have the final 68 teams for the NCAA tournament. And now it's just a matter of getting through the first four, which will be tomorrow and Wednesday. And then at that point, once we get to Thursday, everybody will just be deep in their brackets, up to their eyeballs and watching tournament games, whether that means they're at home, working from home, in the office, in transit, doesn't matter. We all know that the Thursday and Friday of the March Madness weekend, where you have 32 basketball games and 48 through the first 4 days, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But I will touch on the brackets during the podcast at 11 a.m. I'll open it up with that on top of what happened with the WBC last night, where U.S. beat Dominican Republic. And I told you, something told me that last night, as much as they've been mashing the ball. And Sarisha, you're not late, you're here. Welcome. How you doing, Sarisha? Where you from, Sarisha? I'm curious. I just had a feeling that U.S. was going to beat. No, I felt more that Dominican Republic, their bats were going to cool off more than U.S. was going to win. Although I did say on a couple of occasions that they were going to win. Something told me. And Paul Skeens wasn't great, but certainly got outs when he needed it by the help of Aaron Judge there in right field, which was terrible by Fernando Tatis. And if you're the Dominican Republic, you got to be sick after that game and probably didn't even sleep, because you blew opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to break the game open. And whether it was terrible base running, whether it was just double plays, Juan Soto, I understand the umpiring there behind home plate where Soto struck out in the 8th inning. And that was the same pitch that Gerardo Perdomo struck out on, which was ball 4. And if they had the ABS system, which you know in 3 years they're going to have for the World Baseball Classic. And I'm actually a little bit surprised they didn't have it for now. You figure that would have been even a way to introduce to the American public, because even though they've had it throughout exhibition here in spring training throughout baseball, but you figure that, wait, international competition, this will be a way to introduce it. And I get it that there are countries that don't really play baseball, obviously like the Great Britons of the world and the Israels, et cetera. And of course, they need teams to populate this tournament. But this would have been a great introduction for everybody who was going to watch the World Baseball Classic. And listen, it's been a hit this go around. I understand a lot of blowouts early on and a lot of the Mercy Rule games, but I got news for you. I know I haven't been wrapped up in a WBC the way I have, because I just looked at it as like, who cares, exhibition, blah, blah, blah. But this time around, for whatever the reason, I got caught up in it. And right now, the U.S. punches their ticket to a final. Tonight, you got Italy and Netherlands, and I got some Netherlands and Venezuela. And I have some interesting, I don't want to say theories, but some interesting thoughts about not only the game tonight, but also the matchup, whether it's USA-Italy or USA-Venezuela. I want to talk about that on the podcast, so you definitely got to tune in. Link is on my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I sincerely appreciate it. But yeah, I think the game tonight, I wonder if people are going to watch knowing that the U.S. is going to play one of these two teams. And we've seen Italy already beat the United States in the previous pool. So yeah, I would think that you definitely want to stand by and hear what I have to say when it comes to that. NBA right now, yeah, I know you had that weird game the other night with Denver and the Lakers, how Austin Reeves missed that free throw, and then he got the bucket to tie, and they lost it in overtime. Luka's shot at the end, and how now the Lakers have the third seed, but we all know between the 3 and 6 seeds, that could change literally overnight as they're separated by a game and a half. But now the Lakers have the 3 seed. Bio, greetings, my man. And yeah, I just finished talking about the game last night. We could touch on that or any questions, whatever thoughts you have. I'm actually talking NBA now because I've gone in the order of March Madness, brackets, which I'll talk about at the top of the next hour. Not this coming hour, 10 o'clock, of course, 11 Eastern. The WBC, my thoughts on not only the game tonight, but also I have some thoughts about which matchup would work better, which I'll save for the podcast, of course. And then now talking NBA. I know you guys had that big win there on Saturday night, which was, to say miraculous is a little strong, but how many times have you seen a guy in the free throw line purposely miss a shot, he gets the ball back, and then is able to hit that little floater there from the baseline to tie the game, and then Luka wins it in overtime? I mean, rare. So, yeah, I'll touch on that, whatever else is happening in the association. I know that the Hawks they've been on fire. And there's a lot of people that you can't even name 5 Hawks. I know led by Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels was a very good player. But I'm surprised at what the Hawks have been doing here recently. And remind you, they traded away Kristaps Porzingis, Trae Young earlier this season. And it's almost as if they've been better, which is hard to even think or even fathom. So you got that going for you with the NBA. NHL, I know the big story is about the Anaheim Duck player, Radko Gudas. Let me see if I pronounce this correct. Radko Gudas, who had that collision with Austin Matthews there a few nights ago in Toronto, where he got a 5-game suspension, a knee-on-knee hit, and Gudas has had a police blotter full of suspensions throughout the course of his career, how he should have gotten more than 5 games. Even Connor McDavid came out and said something about it. And I don't know what the head of whether it's a combination of the player safety on top of the powers that be trying to hand down the suspension, not knowing the reputation of this player, like, oh, let's just give him 5 games. I mean, this guy's been previously, I know Val talked about it in the room a couple of days ago, how, or maybe it was yesterday, how this guy has gotten, I believe, more than 20 games of suspensions in his career. And he got off with a 5-game suspension on one of the league's best players to boot. So, yeah, I'll touch on that. Other than that, NHL is, where it's at right now. I know the Kraken now have taken the last place as far as the second wild card in the Western Conference as of this moment. So I'll talk about that. Baseball, just to go back to baseball for a second. I know the season starts 10 days from now, people. Really 9 days. I know Yankees, Giants, Netflix. But now we're getting to the final few days of spring training. I believe it'll end this weekend. Maybe as early as Saturday. And then teams, they'll disperse. They'll play in other stadiums if not that Monday, Tuesday before, or maybe that Sunday, Monday before traveling to their respective cities, whomever's opening up their seasons, and then you got that going for you. What else? NFL, you've had a few fringe signings. Kyler Murray with the Vikings. You also have the Giants getting a couple of guys, wide receivers, Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin, former Steeler. You have the situation with Kirk Cousins. Who knows where he's going? So you got that. So NFL, you got some fringe stuff from the free agency period that begun, of course, as we all know, last week. And then I actually have some golf and tennis stuff I want to get to, where you had Cameron Young win the Players' Championship, getting that birdie on the 17th hole, and then winning over Matt Fitzpatrick. This is where Ludwig Åberg had led pretty much, I believe, Friday and Saturday, and then fell apart there yesterday. Now, I wasn't following it closely. I was watching intermittently throughout the weekend. Again, the Players' Championship is not a major, so I'm not going to be wrapped up into it that I would be in about, what? Would it be 3 weeks from this Thursday? Yes, 3 weeks from this Thursday with the Masters, where you know I'll be all over that. But you had that going on there yesterday as far as getting closer to the Masters and almost a sort of a tune-up. And then in the tennis, Indian Wells, again, not a major, but Jannik Sinner won. I think Sabalenka won on the women's side, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. And Sabalenka, who just recently got proposed to, congratulations to her. But Sabalenka, yeah, because I know Sinner beat Daniil Medvedev. And yeah, she beat Rybakina in the final yesterday. 3 sets, including that tiebreak in the third set. Wow, 8-6. So that was a thriller. Val, greetings. So Sabalenka wins. Good start for her here. Because remember, at the Australian, hang on a second. Yeah, I should know this off the top of my head. Did Sabalenka win the Australian? I believe so. Let's see. No, that's not it. Come on. Stand by on the woman's side. Why am I getting that? That's not what I want. Oh, that's right. Rybakina did win that. So that was a rematch. Because I know I saw Rybakina's name. Just waking up, Val? Yeah, listen, it's what, 7 a.m. on your side. So, yeah, Rybakina, interestingly enough, that's why when I saw that, I said, wait a minute. They did play in the Australian, but for whatever reason, my brain couldn't compute. So Sabalenka gets a little bit of measure on Rybakina yesterday. Now, granted, Indian Wells is not a major. And then Jannik Sinner beat Daniil Medvedev, where Medvedev beat Carlos Alcaraz in the semifinal. So, yeah, I got all that cooking there. Lots now that the Sports Dead Zone is out with all the college basketball that's going to take place between tomorrow and Sunday night, I would say around 9 something. So, yeah, this is it. And once we get past this month and into April, forget about it. Then it's really going to be on and popping. My favorite sports month. I think the best sports month of the year. And on top of that, speaking of the best, and you know me, anytime I can take a shot at the NFL, but to me, I get it. It's more on an opinion. And I think Bio, who has agreed with me in the past, could confirm. Here I was watching this WBC last night, and it's a semifinal. And a game that it's not a World Series, not a playoff, it's not a pennant race. And to me, it had that feel of a playoff, which I loved. And that's why baseball is the best sport, because even the NFL can't manufacture that type of suspense or drama. And I'm going to give you examples during the podcast to express that. I know, tough day for your teams there yesterday, Val. And the Warriors actually played pretty well. Now, they had, what, a 23-point lead in the game, thanks to Brandon Podziemski and Guy Santos and players like that. But Yeah, they weren't able to hang on a win, which would have been a big win. Yes, and they played the Wizards today. I believe the Celtics on Wednesday. So they're here on the East Coast for the early part of this week. But, yeah, baseball's still the best sport. And again, I'm going to bring up examples even from the NFL side, because the NFL fan can be like, oh, what about this game, that game? Oh, all these different scenarios where the football fan could say that it's better than baseball, but not in the least. Sorry. And that at bat last night, that home plate umpire had a rough night. And kudos to Albert Pujols by saying that, no, it wasn't. I'm not blaming it on the umps. He said the right thing, classy, wasn't going to point the finger. But I got news for you. If you are from or root for the Dominican Republic, that sucker's going to sit with you until the Classic in 3 years. And think about this. They won in 2013, and 17 they lost to U.S. I even forgot. Was that a quarterfinal? That may have been a semifinal game. That was the Adam Jones, robbing Manny Machado. And then in 2023, they didn't even get to the quarterfinals because Puerto Rico beat them. But, yeah. To me, I almost felt like this was their year to win the whole thing, considering that they scored, 51 runs in those 5 games, which is insane. But I just had a feeling, man. My gut told me that I couldn't see it. I just had a feeling that their bats were going to get cold. And they out-hit the U.S., and their bullpen actually was pretty good. I understand Gregory Soto gave up the home run to Roman Anthony, but, yeah, a lot of those hits were early on in the game. And U.S. had some opportunities, too, early on. I know they had second and third, one out before Severino got back-to-back strikeouts, but yeah, Dominican Republic had a million opportunities. Oh, my God. Jeez. And what the hell was Fernando Tatis Jr. running, trying to go first or third on Aaron Judge? A, is he nuts? B, he knows not to make the third out. You never make the first or last out at third base. And he had Juan Soto coming up. I mean, come on. Who knows? Soto hits a home run there. Maybe they probably win the game. But, yeah, if I was from DR or a rooter of their team, yeah, I'd be sick. And granted that it's the World Baseball Classic, but because this is as close to an Olympic event that you could possibly have, that, yeah, this is one that is going to stick to your ribs. Angel Trend Player, hello. How are you? Yeah, Val, Warriors. See, the thing about the Warriors, Val, yeah, they have lost 5 in a row. They're going to make the play-in unless they continue to bottom out. But even then, because Memphis, they're 100 games behind them in the standings. So, but now what's happening is that you're 2 back of the Clippers. Phoenix is way ahead of you, so forget about them. You want, as I mentioned a million times, you want to try to get in that 7-8 spot. You don't want 9-10. Where are you from, Angel? You don't want to get to the 9-10 because, as I've said before, you lose that game, that's it, you're out. You got to win two games to get to the postseason, where you have 2 chances to get in the postseason if you're a 7 or 8 seed, or in this case, if you're an 8 seed. And right now, I think they're 2 games behind them. Let's pull that up. Let's see. NBA eyes key first vote for expansion. NBA does not need expansion, but okay, I get it. Let's see. The Warriors are currently 2 games in the loss, then 2 games back. And they have how many? Let's see if I do my math correctly. 67. They both play 67 games. So they both have 15 games left, 2 games back. It's not impossible, but I think Warriors, Wizards. Yes. And listen, the Wizards are awful. So if this is a time for you to snap this losing streak, this is it. Let's see. Why is the NBA wanting an expansion team? Let's look into that because listen, I understand that years ago they've talked about it. Seattle in particular, which they should get a team, but they'd have to bring in another team into the mix. Yep, Las Vegas and Seattle expansion, which means the NBA would have to realign, which is understood, but they would have to probably go by way of 8 teams per division, 4 divisions in both conferences. And let's say if they did get, all right, NBA will hold a vote next week, adding expansion teams exclusively in Vegas and Seattle, with the 2 franchises being targeted to start in 28-29. Let's see. $28.29. Yeah. The last NBA last time expanded was Charlotte. Wow, it was 04. Yeah, they were the Bobcats. Remember them? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, they're just gonna have both. If they get both teams in, then they have to realign. So, happy birthday, Sticks. Bulls player. Who the hell is Sticks? I should know that. With the Knicks name. Let's see. Oh, Jalen Smith. All right, learn something new every day. So Jalen Smith is his birthday. But yeah, they're going to have expansion. Obviously, that means more teams, more markets. Seattle could definitely. Remember, they had a team many moons ago, and now if they are able to get another franchise, I hope they call the Sonics. I mean, and they have the green and the gold. And then Vegas, who knows what they'll be called. But again, they're going to talk about that next week, but I would think it's going to happen. I mean, at this point, I'd be surprised if it doesn't. But they'll have to realign. And if I were to think about that off the top of my head, let me see. Vegas, Seattle. Let's pull up the teams real quick. Let's have some fun with this exercise. So if you had the NBA, your East, so you got to have 8 teams. I would think you have the 5 teams in the Atlantic, followed by, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you got to throw Washington. No, could you take Toronto out? I know Toronto's in the Eastern time zone, but I would take Boston, Brooklyn, New York, Philly, Washington. They would probably have to do, could they do a north-south? No, they can't because then you have east and west. Hold on a second. Would they do it like the NFL? 4 teams, 8 divisions? I think 2, like the NHL, I think it would be similar to that. Because if you have New York, both New York teams, Boston, Philly, Washington, Toronto 6. Yeah, because then you have the 5 central teams. You could throw Toronto in there. That's 6. So, wait, I said Toronto. Wait, hold on a second. Boston, Brooklyn, New York, Philly, Washington. Then if you do Charlotte, then you take the central teams and Toronto. Then that leaves you with Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, Washington. But then they'd have to move one of those teams from the Southwest over. Maybe you move New Orleans to the East. Did I hear about what? Cinema? I don't know, Val. What are you referring to? Yeah, well, anyway, I hear I'm trying to break down this whole realignment deal. So, yeah, obviously you have that going on with the NBA as far as the potential of expansion goes. And, yeah, that's what I got for the podcast. And let's see. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to need my glasses for that. Yeah, kind of quiet today. It, almost like the weather outside. Here it's rainy, although it's in the mid 50s, but it's windy. And yeah, I know I look just tired as all hell. Last couple of nights, I didn't sleep well. And I actually started off almost with a little vent on this live stream, but I stopped it. I said, no, not going to go there. But yeah, I'll make sure to have it picked up by the time we get to the live stream or the live podcast. Yes, I did see that, Val. The tight end, Dallas Goedert, re-signed with the Eagles. 100%. Yep, 1-year deal. Yeah, who knows with A.J. Brown, even though I know they said they weren't going to trade him, but you got to think, will they even entertain any possible deals? Who knows? All right, can I, hold on a second. Why did that change colors? That's weird. So let's see. I know the one thing funny thing is that with the men's tournament, I should look at the women's too. I know UConn is ranked number 1 and they're going to be the odds-on favorite to win. Shocker. Let's see. NCAA women's bracket. Yeah, I hope UConn doesn't win, but I think they're going to win this year. No, that's the men's. How about women's? Women's basketball, women's bracket. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you these teams. Yeah, why don't they have this listed? Sacramento. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't they have the men's locations? I know St. John's got screwed big time. Heard a rumor about Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa. Yeah, I can see that. And considering that the Bills signed Bradley Chubb to a 3-year deal, it's quite possible that Joey Bosa could go to San Francisco. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see that. So let me check one other thing. Hang on a second. All right. Is there any former Warrior players on the Wizards? Well, Jordan Poole was. Yeah, is Jordan Poole still there? No, I think he signed elsewhere, didn't he not? And also, what's it called? Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, I don't even know if he's playing. He's a former Wizard player on the Warriors. Is Poole in New Orleans? Yeah, he's in New Orleans. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't think he was at he was on the Wizards. So yeah, that's what you got, Val. Let me see. Anybody else? Let me think. Former Warriors players on the Wizards. We got Trae Young. I don't have Wizards on the brain. What, Corey Kispert and kid Alex Sarr. Hold on. The Wizards. No, I don't think I see anybody here, Val. Yeah, I mean, you look at this roster, geez. It's pretty bad. Porzingis, wonder when he'll play again. Yeah, I don't even know why I understand why they traded for him, but at the same time, I don't know why they traded for him. I mean, the guy, it's funny, it's not even that he's hurt. He's got this respiratory issue dating back to last year that's affected him. And for whatever reason, he hasn't seemed to get himself back on track, which is wild, but sadly, that's what's happening with him right now. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Sorry if I'm not bringing the energy this morning. I am a little bit out of it. No excuse. I play injured or not. But look at this. Leaky black. So yeah, that's what I got, people. That's what I got for the podcast. Not only that, but also have some news items I'm going to talk about on the podcast, and I'll even talk about tomorrow during another live stream, because we do have the live stream on Wednesday at noon. But there's going to be a bit of a shift this week with the programming. More so Thursday's podcast. So you definitely got to stay tuned for that. So, and then next Wednesday, my live stream is going to be predominantly baseball, as I'm going to do my baseball preview. So that means storylines, over-unders, World Series prediction. Should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Another baseball season just about here. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know people saying Duke has a difficult draw in the East. I don't see it. Yeah, I get it, UConn. And I know St. John's, but St. John's, I don't even think they're going to get far. Listen, they could lose. I mean, listen, I think they may even beat Kansas, but I don't know. That is a tough road for sure. With Michigan State, it is the hardest bracket. But you know, if you're Duke and you've played killer all year, like why would that be a tough bracket? They make it sound like Duke's a 4 seed. Like, oh my god, they got put in the wrong bracket. Yeah, I mean that's the most competitive for sure. But and not only that, but come on, they're playing East Region. Their games are what? They're playing in Buffalo and I believe in DC. So, although what I don't like is the South, where how the hell does Houston get home games in a regional semis and semifinal? That doesn't make sense. And they're a 2 seed. And what if they meet Florida? Thank you, Val. And what if they meet Florida there in the regional final? Those games are going to be in the Toyota Center. And then Michigan definitely has again, I want to save this for the podcast, but Michigan looks like they have a pretty easy road. And then that's in the Midwest. And then out West, I think out West is, I know Arizona, they've had a very good year. But yeah, to me, that's a toss-up. I think that's the one that has the biggest question mark. Man, Illinois got a 3 seed. I was surprised by that. As a matter of fact, let me look up, hold on. And Miami of Ohio, they're going to be in the play-in as an 11 seed, going up against SMU. There you go, Val. You got your guys down, Pat. Yes, Matt Chapman. That's your guy. Let's see. No, let's go back. Let me see. What happened with... Oh, that's right, yeah. Lucille Mascot? Buster Posey, yes. Well, Posey is the vice president of baseball operations there, Val. Yeah, the new manager is that guy that they got from Vanderbilt. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. You know what? Let me look that up. Manager. Yeah, Tony Villa. I can't pronounce his name. Vitellello. Yeah, so he's your new guy. And yeah, let's see how he does. Drew, cheers. How about Will Smith's frame job on that close? Yeah, I know. Yeah, if they had the ABS. And remember, the strikeout of Juan Soto in the 8th inning was on a similar pitch. Yeah, not good. Definitely not good. I didn't like that. I wanted to see Tatis get up there, add to the drama. But, and listen, Albert Pujols did the right thing. He didn't blame the home plate umpire or the umpiring crew on why they lost. So you got to give it up for him. And I'm sure some of the players are probably unhappy about that. But hey, those are the breaks. Bad ones, but those are the breaks. I know, and then Juan Soto's come out saying, hey, we showed the world who's the best team in baseball. Nah, they're not, though. They are not. Yeah, brutal loss, Drew. Oh, my God. How do you even... you couldn't even sleep. Skeens was good. I mean, he gave up 6 hits. Got some help there from Aaron Judge there in right field, which I don't know why Fernando Tatis was going first or third on that. I mean, to me, that made absolute no sense with Soto coming up. I mean, come on. But, yeah, absolutely brutal loss for DR. The novice, my little youngster your call. Yeah, listen. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Major League Baseball did not incorporate the ABS into this tournament. And I say that because they're doing it throughout the spring training games, number one. Number two, this would have been their platform to showcase the ABS, because who's watching exhibition games? Even me, as much as I love baseball, I haven't watched one at bat of any Met baseball here over the last, whatever it is, 3 weeks or so. So if they would have had this here, we would have seen firsthand how the system works. You know, you get 2 challenges a game, and in extra innings, you get 1 challenge. And obviously, if you take your first challenge and you blow it, you lose that challenge. Or you lose your challenge, I should say. So you got to really choose wisely. But if you win, you keep your challenge. So it's interesting. Tatis was greedy. Yeah, I mean, Soto comes up. It's first and second, 2 out. But who knows what the game will look like then? Yeah, that Julio Rodriguez catch. Yeah, I was close. I don't know if that would have been a home run, though. Man, maybe hit the top of the wall. It could have been a home run, but to me, it wasn't an automatic. It wasn't an Otis Nixon, Andy Van Slyke, if you remember that one, at the old Fulton County Stadium. That was one of the great catches you ever seen. I mean, you talk about home run robbery. Man. I know there's been several others. I just think about that one. Andy Chavez. Yeah, it wasn't one of those. But it was close. But no, it was still a very good catch. Yeah, you didn't think it was home run either? Yeah, no, listen, it probably would hit the top of the wall. Now, who knows if it would have bounced over? I don't think so. But yeah, it wasn't a sure home run that he literally scaled the wall, went over, and reached back and robbed it. Like I said, it wasn't Endy Chavez 06 Game 7 NLCS. They never introduced rules that aren't already in place in the majors. Well, no, I mean, I hear you, the novice, but if they're using the ABS in spring training, why can't they use it here? And like I said, this would have been perfect because for those who weren't familiar with the rule or like just parachuted in to watch this, they could have said, oh, wait a minute, now is when they're going to start incorporating the automated balls and strikes. So, yeah, I just thought that was a scenario where who knows what that would have been like, because Perdomo would have tapped his helmet, they would have looked at it, and it was low. You can see it there on the box. Soto, same deal, in the 8th inning. But yeah, those are the breaks. But in 2029, they'll have it then. 15,000. All right. Donovan Mitchell got his 50,000 point. Yep. Thank you, Val. It'll be my first major soccer match in person. Oh, are you actually going there, Drews? It'll be next one when it's been in play. Yeah, no, absolutely, Donovis. I could definitely see that. Well, World Cup is what? 3 months away? Doesn't that start like June, maybe around this time, like 16th? When does... Oh, June 11th. To July 19th. So 5 weeks. And all in North America. Very good, Drew. Yep, you're on top of it. Donovan Mitchell obviously 25 points. Yeah, but the thing is, and he's had some good postseasons, especially when he was at Utah, but that's the whole Shaq, the exchange with him. It's like, oh, if you want to take your game to the next level, we got to see that, blah, blah, blah. No, Mitchell is very good. I mean, there's no denying that. But, hold on, make WBC final. Who do you guys think are going to win tonight between Italy and Venezuela, for those who care? And again, I'm going to talk about the dynamic if it's USA, Italy, or Venezuela on the podcast, which is coming in 27 minutes, by the way. I missed a response to the Eagles no-fly zone with the 3 cornerbacks now. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, and by the way, now that the novice is here, Italy with the upset with Venezuela. Remember, they beat the U.S. has only lost against them. Again, I'll unpack that. By the way, Donavis, yesterday I know you mentioned the Mariners, that team. The team that scored 30 runs 2012. I believe that was 2012. I think it was April of 2012 because I was going on vacation. Or maybe it was May. Was the Texas Rangers. All right, Drew. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. You have an awesome day too, man. Thank you. Yeah, Texas Rangers. They won 30-3 in Baltimore, and I believe Josh Hamilton hit 4 home runs in a game. Oh, no, that game was... Oh, was it in 07? I thought it was 12. Oh, man, I was way off. Yeah, because I remember Josh... When did Josh Hamilton hit 4 home runs in a game? I thought it was that game. Hang on. Yeah, Josh Hamilton wasn't in the team in 07. And here's the crazy thing. J-Rod, what's happening? Here's the crazy thing about that game. Baltimore led 3-0 in the game. And then Texas scored 30 unanswered. It was 3-0 going to the top of the fourth. Texas scored 5 in the fourth. Then they scored 9 in the sixth. So that's 14-3. 10 in the eighth, 24-3, and 6 in the ninth. And it went 30-3, 29 hits. But I had my games mixed up because when did Josh Hamilton hit 4 home runs? That was in April 20. No, that was probably May 2012. I haven't even looked at the screen yet. May 8th, 2012. And in fact, yes, because I left that morning, the 9th, to Miami. He hit it the night before. And that was against Baltimore, I believe. Yep, in Baltimore. May 8th, 2012. Yep, and the next morning, I'll never forget. Oh, geez, not to bring up bad memories for yours truly in my life. But, yeah, the next morning, and I thought that was the game that they won 30-3. But, and that was the Texas Rangers, by the way. That won 30-3. I was talking about that yesterday toward the end of the live. Fishing Angel. Where is she? Oh, I thought I saw her pop up. Oh, I'm going to turn down and wake up Fishing Angel. Yes. Well, hopefully you don't wake her up. Reading lips. 37 and windy. Got a bunch of rain last night. Half-inch rain. Yeah, it's rained. Yeah, it rained here yesterday. In fact, I don't know. I took out the dog earlier and it was wet and she got all wet. I barely dried her. But let's see. Yeah, but Josh Hamilton had the 4 home runs May 8th, 2012. 14 years already, geez. Let's see, hold on. Well, I got all this thing popping up here? No. All right. So, yeah, that's the deal. That's what's happening. Looking forward to this podcast. Of course, keep an eye and ear out as I have some programming notes in the podcast. I'm actually going to jump off in a few minutes only because I got to set up. I got my ring light here. I got to move that, but I haven't set up my microphone. I haven't set up a bunch of other things. I said at the very top of this live, yeah, it's been it works. You woke up. Fishing Angel, good morning. As you were awakened. Yeah, rough start this morning for yours truly. Not that I'm going to be here to vent or complain about it, but with the weather here and going to bed late and not sleeping well and slow start, I got to get my rear end to bed much sooner than later because this isn't cutting it anymore. So, but yeah, that's it, people. That's what I got. Hopefully tomorrow, with it being St. Patty's Day, I don't know where I'll be for the live just yet. If I'll be outside, indoors, what time, trying to target a time where I can do so. Fishing Angel, good morning. So you heard my voice to wake you up. You don't even need an alarm. On those mornings where I'm doing the live, I become your alarm. Which is kind of scary when you think about it, but greetings, yes. Yeah. But yes, onward and upward as another day is here. We're all should be so grateful and blessed to have. And yeah, top of the hour, of course, I will usher in the latest podcast. I'll go through the brackets, recap the game last night. Has any NCAA tournament game times been posted? No, I haven't seen them as of yet. Yeah, in fact, I'm like one of the brackets. Yeah, I wish they had the locations. I don't know why they don't have all the locations, which is. And I'd rather use the other bracket, but the thing is that Hold on a second. March Madness. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, even if I go to NCAA.com. This is good, but it doesn't give me the locations. Anyway. Yeah, not yet. Yeah, I may just use this one. Michigan will be on True TV or something stupid. Yeah, yeah, it's possible. You would think because they're a 1 seed that they would actually show their games on CBS. But, and let me see, hold on. First round. Yeah, no, they haven't announced it yet. I mean, I hate that. And I get it. They just had Selection Sunday yesterday, so probably by tomorrow, the game times will be posted. Still waking up too, but thank you, Val. Oh, they are the novice? Not on these brackets that I've seen. You know what? Let's do this. You're right. If I go to, hold on. Let's go to the schedule. Yeah, they are out. Who is USA going to play tomorrow? I'll say this. I'd rather see them play Venezuela. And I'll explain why when you watch the podcast. We're going to watch Venezuela tonight. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check that out too. I'll explain why I'd rather see Venezuela during the podcast, which is going to be in 18 minutes. Yeah, if you go to, you know what? I went to ESPN.com and they have them all here listed. The first game is, you'll like this, J-Rod, TCU, Ohio State, 12:15. Then, let's see. Yeah, Michigan's on CBS. I had a feeling because they're a 1 seed. CBS 7:10. After that, I couldn't tell you. And then, you know, Duke's playing probably Friday at 7 something. Because Duke always going to get a primetime game. Can't stand them. Yeah, Arizona's playing early Friday, 1:35. St. John's, I know in San Diego, that's a joke. I'll try to go live this week if I can. I'm glad JAYREELZ watched my live last week. Yeah, I think. No, I didn't watch it live. I just saw you streamed it. I saw it yesterday, and you had streamed it 2 days prior. Yeah, they're posted on ESPN. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. Where's Duke? Did I skip Duke? I guess Duke's playing Thursday. Yeah, Florida's playing Friday, 9:25. Oh, they're playing at 2:50. Oh, I thought they would play more primetime. Wow. All right, so Duke's 2:50, and then Michigan is at 7:10. Yes, thank you, Donavis. Yeah. Yeah, Val just gets on. He does pretty much talk sports, like yours truly. All right, kids? Yeah, go ahead. I know, because then she's going to think I want to play with her, but now's not the time to do that. Jira, okay, I like sports. Yeah, what is the name of Val's channel? Is Val's channel? It's not the 6458, right? Let me see. I'll look that up, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to sign off because I gotta finish setting up. Let's see, YouTube. Nope, I don't want that. Let's see, Val B. I type in Val B. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there it is. I wish I could copy and paste that and put that in the room right now, but I cannot. I get upset if I miss. Ah, Fishing Angel, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very kind of you to say. Very nice, too. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually, if you just type in Val B, and of course it's Val B6458, but yeah, sports YouTube channel, 49ers News. I'm a college student. Go Lobos. Lobos, that's New Mexico? Hope to keep growing my channel and report on all sports. Yeah, Val's putting in work. He's putting a lot of stuff. He puts out a lot of, I like, he does all the shorts on players that signed and stuff like that. Yeah, he's active on here. Gotta love it. Oh, awesome, J-Rod. All right. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log off. Channel Val B, I talk. Oh, just yes, you did. Yeah, it's getting up there, Val. Getting closer to the 250 mark. Keep working at it, man. You'll get there. But yeah, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you in about 13 minutes. Break it all down, get all my thoughts, and then obviously in the back end, I'll banter back and forth with you guys. Appreciate you always hopping on board. Let me finish setting up, and I will see you in less than 15. And yeah, I'll see you then. And of course, at that point, I'll say all my good stuff. Enjoy your Monday, etc. Yes, Dylan Nutt. Goodbye from Scotland. Fraser, I didn't know you were on. Thank you, Fraser. I appreciate you. Scotland, that's my first what's called from Scotland. I don't know if you subbed. I don't know if you're into sports, Fraser, but if you are, this is the channel for you. Thank you, Fishing Angel. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dylan Nutt, of course. But, all right, guys. Hey, Fraser, if you want to hop on board in the next 12 minutes, the link is in my channel. And I'll get your comments, questions afterwards. You got to hop in back and forth. But that's what I got for now. Until then, everybody, peace, love, God bless as always. And until 12 minutes from now, on the flip, baby. See you then. Looking forward to it.